And welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharida. Welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Okay, so today's video is going to be all about how I was able to finally, after decades, cure my adult hormonal acne. If that sounds like something you want to hear more about, then just keep watching. I wholeheartedly believe that everyone can attain clear, glowing, healthy, beautiful skin. For so many years, I really thought that that just was not something that I could achieve, but I stayed in the fight. And that is my message of hope for anyone out there that is suffering from acne of any kind. So to give you an idea of my background as far as my skin, in junior high is when I began, like most of us, suffering from acne. Now, at that time, I mostly had what they consider to be pustules, very rarely anything cystic, but you know, the big zits that kind of like just take up your whole face and the ones you want to pop because you feel like that's the only way that you can get rid of them. So that actually took me all the way up through high school, and when I got to college, I wanted to take matters into my own hands since I figured, hey, I'm an adult. Let me care for myself in the way that I want to care for myself. I saw a dermatologist. Now, this is something that I recommend for anyone to do that cannot get rid of their acne with over-the-counter medications. You do not have to keep wrecking your brain and trying to figure out why this is not working for you or why that's not working for you. Go to your dermatologist, because that really helped me when I was in college. I was prescribed topical medications, and that definitely kept my skin a lot more clear and better than what I had been experiencing. Now, was my skin completely clear of acne, glowing, healthy, radiant? No, it wasn't, but it did minimize the appearance and the number of outbreaks I had as far as, just your typical acne. Now, for me, when things really got worse is when I entered my 30s, because I started to experience a type of acne that I had never seen before. There were so many breakouts right along the jawline, and that's a clue. That is a giveaway that what you're experiencing is hormonal acne for women if you're having it right along the jawline or the chin. For so long, I feel like I was in denial about the state of my skin. You know, you try to mask and cover things up with makeup, and sometimes it just takes looking at a photo to understand like the state of your skin and how bad it was for me. I tried everything. I tried to make changes in my diet. I consumed gallons of water, and nothing really seemed to help cure my acne. That is why I say go see a dermatologist, because I would have never drawn the conclusion that what I was suffering from was something hormonal. And so for me to treat what was going on the surface of my skin, I had to treat what was going on inside my body to actually get to the root cause of it. When I went to the dermatologist about my hormonal acne, she prescribed me what is called a Spirolactone. And this is a pill that you take on a daily basis, and it actually has multiple uses. For one of those really popular uses is for treating women with adult acne. Spironolactone is an androgen blocker. Now, when it comes to the form of acne that I had along here and here, it is caused by overproduction of oil, which is caused by increased levels of testosterone. So as you get older, your hormones, they shift, they change. You go through all sorts of physiological changes. And that was something that my body in particular was going through. This particular medication is what addressed the androgens in my skin. It helped stop my acne very quickly. Other thing that she prescribed me was something topical, and it's called a Retin-a. This is different from the over-the-counter retinols. This is a lot stronger, and what it does, it gets really deep down into the skin cells and brushes them away. So it's like exfoliating, but on a much deeper level. So all those dead skin cells and oils that get trapped in the pores, which is a breeding ground for the bacteria, which create those little comedones that you see all over my forehead in that picture, that is what this is helping to clear away. So the pill form medication helps to block that reaction that creates the excess oil, and then the Retin-a is going to sweep away any dead skin cells and oils that I have trapped deep down. Those together help stop the breakouts for me. Now that is just part one of my skin journey. The second part is I completely abandoned the westernized idea of how we cleanse our face, the steps. Normally over here in the US, what do? We do a harsh cleanser. Maybe we'll use an astringent or a toner, and then we'll moisturize. At the most 3 steps, right? So what I adopted was Korean skincare. This totally changed my skin. Never had I ever experienced radiant, bright, even supple skin until I started to implement these steps into my daily routine. Now, sometimes it's referred to as a 10-step routine, but you really don't have to implement every 10 steps, every day or twice a day. What this is just an idea of these things you need to do for your skin so that it is completely cared for. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the 10 steps that I include in my skincare. The first one is a double cleanse. If you are wearing makeup, this is a non-negotiable. You start out with an oil or balm cleanser and you get all of that makeup and dirt off of the face. Then you follow up with a water-based cleanser. Step 2, if you're gonna do a physical exfoliator, this is when you would implement that step. Now, because I use Retin-a, at night several times a week, I really don't do many physical exfoliators unless I just really feel like maybe the Retin-a is causing me to peel a little bit more than usual, and I can literally feel like, excess skin coming off after I cleanse my face. At that time, I'll do one. But other than that, I really don't do too much exfoliating outside of my Retin-a. The third step is to tone. You have to use a toner to bring the pH of your skin back to a balanced level, because a lot of the times when we cleanse it, it really does change the pH. And so to balance it back out and bring your skin at a baseline, you need to tone. Number 4 is a skin essence, and this is the hallmark of Korean skincare. An essence is almost like, thinking of it as like a deep conditioner for your hair. An essence is a deep conditioning, moisture-rich concoction for your skin. Okay, so once you tone, you put on your essence, and it is going to leave your skin in the most beautiful state. Trust me. Okay, step 5 is when you want to apply your serums. Typically, serums are a little thicker than an essence. So what you want to do is apply which is going to be the thinnest first. You always apply your products from thin consistency to the thickest. Okay, after this, it's going to be your moisturizer. Or if you have a moisturizer with a sunscreen, this is when you're going to add that step in for daytime. You must use a sunscreen every day. I don't care if you're sitting at home, those sun rays will come for you and your skin, honey. So you need to make sure that you always protect your skin with a sunscreen. Number 6 is going to be your eye creams. I have aging skin. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm almost done with my 30s. Next year, I'll be 40 years old. So it's important for me to get ahead of any fine lines, wrinkles, anything that could be causing me to age and look older, I want to combat. So I definitely use my eye creams when I feel like I need them. And when you're wearing makeup, it's always good to get up under the eyes with a heavier cream, because it's going to really plump up the area and moisturize it and make sure that nothing looks too dry or cakey once you've applied your makeup. Okay, after this step is when I usually will apply any prescription medications. I will go with usually a benzoyl ointment or cream in the day, and then at night, that is when I would do the Retin-a. You don't use those two together. You're gonna do one or the other. I don't use both every single day, but this is just kind of where it fit into the 10-step routine. Okay, so at night, you want to do a mask after you apply all these treatments, because it can help it really soak in there, or you can do a facial oil. So Korean skincare, all in all, introduced this layering of moisture, something that I just never really thought my skin needed. And so what that did is really balance out the skin oils. It balanced out the brightness of my complexion, the evenness, the tone, the texture. This is the smoothest my skin has ever looked in my life. I mean, I was always used to having so much texture. Now, one word of caution: when you are learning about the layering of products, you need to research what's acceptable to layer, because you don't want to mix the wrong active ingredients and irritate your skin or dry out your skin or cause sensitivity or compromise your skin barrier. I'm gonna link in the description box below an amazing little video on what chemicals go well together and what you never want to mix. Like, for example, you don't want to put on a vitamin C with a Retin-a. If I'm going to do vitamin C, I save that for the daytime. If I do vitamin A or Retin-a, I do that in the evening. You never want to mix those. They're two very active ingredients that don't combine well. I absolutely believe that skincare is the ultimate form of self-care. So I devote time every day, twice a day, to pampering my skin. It's going to give you the most confidence when you can walk out the house without makeup, when you can look at someone and not feel like they're just staring at every pimple that you have on your face. Now, initially, when you start to add these steps into your routine, you may say, okay, this is a lot, but trust me, it's not. And you're going to get really fast with applying it. All these steps that I do in the morning and night, it's 5 minutes. So it's not a huge chunk of my day. It's nothing I really have to think about anymore. And I feel like I'm waking up, doing something great for myself. And when I go to bed, I'm doing the same thing. I will be back with part 2 in this series to discuss the other side of things as far as diet, water, intermittent fasting, vitamins for certain skin deficiencies. That is something else that you have to consider besides what you're putting on top of your skin. Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed the content. Let me know, I'm super curious. Are you battling acne right now? Were you able to finally get yours under control? I want to hear all about it. Drop it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.